to today's journey. My name is Boris Kerjner. I'm grateful to be here with you today. And today, I wanted to approach a different angle to this journey of spiritual awakening. The angle of seeking and not finding. Yeah. We all have something that's calling to us. Yeah. Maybe it's for you, it's enlightenment. Maybe it's a certain relationship. Maybe it's a certain relationship with God, with the divine, with wisdom. Or maybe it's more money, more health, more well being. But what if everything that you've been taught about chasing your dreams is wrong? What if chasing altogether is something entirely different than fulfillment? So I want to invite you to stick with me here and explore this one shift that could possibly change everything in the way that we approach this mindset of fulfillment and engaging with life. Yeah. So I want to welcome you to today's session. I want to invite you to, if you are willing and if you have that ability, to just take a deep breath. For a moment, maybe close your eyes so we can fully arrive here. This 1 minute spent in alignment, in stillness, is going to allow us to open to this time that we've dedicated to our own awakening in a way that is far more fruitful than if we're still running about on this timeline in our mind, getting from the past through this present to some future. So I want to invite you to just drop down into your heart, take a deep breath. Just sigh it out. Just feel your heart for a moment. Breathing into your heart. And on your next exhale, just allow yourself to let go of all of the past. Where you came from, what happened before. Just for now, letting that go. And likewise, taking another deep breath in, into the heart. And as you let it go, releasing the future from the mind, releasing the attachment to what comes next, dropping deeper. And let's take one more breath together, breathing into the heart and letting go of even our concept of the present, letting go of the meaning, interpretation, resistance or attachment, and just experiencing the undefined, unknown, sacred now. And in this moment, just connecting with that intention to awaken to the greatness that I know you sense within yourself, awakening to the greatness that has been knocking at the door of your consciousness your whole life. Allowing that in, allowing that through, inviting that in, inviting it through into expression. And when you're ready, you may gently open your eyes. And let's drop in together into this exploration of, well, how do we engage with life? Let's drop into that profound truth that has the power to truly transform us. So some of the things I want to cover with us today is, number one is why chasing actually just pushes away the things we want. Whether you're chasing a partner, you're chasing enlightenment, you're chasing money, why that doesn't really work. And also how aligning with our true self actually fulfills our desires effortlessly. I also want to cover what happens when we trust in life's timing, yeah? When we allow ourselves to be lived and we trust in divine timing, letting go of control. And also how to feel deeply empowered in the awareness, in the confidence and the knowing that what is meant for you will always find you. And the secret to that is that it'll always find you because it's who you are. Yeah. So I also want to invite you that as we journey here together, absolutely welcome your questions. Feel free to drop them into the chat if you're here on Zoom, and also into the YouTube chat if you're joining us there. But let's dive into this first part, yeah, of why chasing doesn't work. Yeah. So we've all felt it, right? That sense of wanting something really badly, getting so excited about it, feeling like this is it. What do I need to do? What do I need to plan? How do I get there? And what happens is that when we are in that mindset, we are very far from the connection to our true self. Our true self, the essence of who we are, is not in any form of lack. It's not trying to get something any more than you are trying to get something when you're watching a movie, right? When you watch a movie, I mean, you're there for the enjoyment of it, but you're not trying to get something out of the movie. You're not trying to make a character do something. You're not trying to, unless you identify with a character, right? Unless you identify with the movie. And in fact, this is what this aspect of ourselves, as we are in this mode of seeking, this is what has happened, is that we've identified with the movie of life. We've identified with our dream character self, this avatar, this Boris or um, Lars or Louise, right? We've identified with our character. And so instead of witnessing life and seeing the beauty of it unfolding, remembering who we are as the I am presence, right? As the true self, witnessing the unfolding of life. Instead of that and seeing everything, right, as this beautiful play of innocence. Instead of that, we get into the storyline. We start to really identify with who we are, and now we want to manipulate the movie. We want to manipulate the dream to get something out of it. Well, when we're doing that, we have already lost the one thing that we actually want, right? If you really take a look at it, at the core of every desire is the desire for what? What is it? Take a moment to reflect, right? What is it that we're actually desiring? What is it that we're actually striving for? Because if you say, well, you know what, it is this concept, enlightenment, or it is this amount of money, or it is this kind of partner, if that's what comes to you initially, I invite you to look deeper. Because would you want enlightenment if it guaranteed you ongoing suffering? Would you want that partner if you knew that you were going to be miserable as soon as you had it? Would you want that amount of money if you knew it's going to cost you the other things that you value? Of course not, right? Of course not. But we fall for this trick each and every time it's presented in our mind because we are conditioned within the matrix to snap into this identity of a separate self. And the moment that we do, all of the lack seems real. All of what's missing seems to be out there. And so we go on chasing it. But the more we step into this thing of chasing, the more we forget that the only thing we really ever wanted was a an inner experience, a state of being, a feeling state, we may say, not necessarily an emotional state, but a feeling state. Yeah. It's the feeling of fulfillment, right? That's what we want. We want to be fulfilled. We want to come back to rest. We want to know that all is well. And through the conditioning that we've received in our journey, we tend to assume that that is going to happen and it'll come to us if and when we have some kind of a concept like enlightenment, like a certain amount of money, like a certain partner, or whatever that may be for you, a certain degree of health, even, whatever that is. And so, as we accept this programming and we go on to pursue, even if we get the thing, we often feel empty. And I can tell you this from my own personal story. I had this vision in my mind several years ago. I was at this ceremony, and such a beautiful location. I stepped out onto the patio and I was looking around. It was right at the edge of the ocean, and it was just, wow, this is where I want to live. This is it. This is the vision. Here I am. I'm standing here. This is my home. It's immersed in nature. I see seagulls flying. I see seals swimming. I see orcas playing around in the distance. Wow. Yeah, this is it. So I've held this in mind. I have lived into it within myself, right? Through all the various techniques of manifestation, personal development, entrepreneurship, all of that. And guess what? I got it. I arrived in it. And I had my own version of it. There it is. Whew, amazing. It's beautiful. It's inspiring. And guess what happened after I got it? I got depressed. I got disillusioned. It was empty. This vision that I've been holding on for years and just striving towards, there was nothing in it. Nothing changed. Here's the so here it is. And then what? And then inside, nothing was different. I was just still myself, still the same inner milieu. Okay. So that's the that's that's the outcome of the chase. And so whenever we're chasing, what we are really looking for is we're looking for the state of fulfillment. And we cannot get to the state of fulfillment through chasing. We can only get it by realizing that that's who we are. What we are is inherently fulfillment. Yeah. So, it's often thought about like when you chase, you're telling the universe, I don't have this. You're not telling the universe. You are affirming in yourself that I am a separate self. It's just like when we were kids, we would play pretend and you say, well, I am, a firefighter. And now you are in this context in which you're thinking like this, you're thinking like a firefighter, you're looking out for fires. And this is like a self hypnotism. And of course, there is a larger hypnotism at play. Um, I don't know if any of you have experienced Joel Goldsmith. His teachings on this universal hypnotism are so profound and so potent and so clear. Um, but I don't want to derail us into another subject. I really want to center in on this. So the idea of reinforcing lack, reinforcing that I don't have it, is not going to bring us to that state that we're ultimately looking for. But then what is? I want to offer you uh, this kind of perspective. You know, uh, there is in the New Age community, in the personal development community, there's this little bit of a misdirect. And we're encouraged, instead of chasing, to, yes, focus on alignment. And so many personal development and New Age teachings suggest for you to ask yourself, who do I need to become to attract what I desire? Yeah, who do I need to become to attract what I desire? The idea is that when you align with this energy of being an abundant person, you embody those feelings, then the universe responds to you. Yeah. But the real secret is this. Instead of focusing on becoming, what we really want to do is we want to inquire into the truth of who and what you already are. There is no becoming. God is not becoming. Infinite being is not becoming anything. It is already always the same throughout time because it's not in time. So what we want in essence, like think about this, every desire that we have here that we want to pursue, um, it's temporal, right? If we were aware in truth that it is temporal, like if I were to gonna give you this sticky note, say, hey, this sticky note, this is a check for $1 million, and here you can have it. And but as soon as you take it, it's gonna turn back into a sticky note. What's the like what's the value in it? It's the same kind of value of anything that we pursue here as an end in itself, where we say, okay, well, if I have this much money, or if I have this condition or that condition, all conditional achievements, fulfillments, they're all temporary. They are all going to literally dissolve. They're going to fall through your hands like grain of sand as soon as you squeeze it. Why? Because they're all made of dream stuff. And so, in essence, we trade our soul energy in this way for chasing after these things, these emblems of these symbols of something that we hope to achieve. But at the core of it, what we are looking for is the self. What we are looking for is peace, love, joy, fulfillment. What is that? It's you. It's always been you. It has never been anything but you. And in fact, the only thing that you have ever experienced throughout your whole life has been you. Whether you're interacting with your lover, whether you're thinking about the news and the politics, whether you are watching some kind of a scene unfold before you, what you are directly interfacing with is perception. You're interfacing with your perception. What is perception? It is your own conjuring. It is your own meaning making. It is your own judgment, definition, interpretation. And so we're essentially always interacting with just one, and that is the self. We are um, hoping that in our course of engaging with life, we will come to kind of a secret where, you know what, if I just manipulate something here or something in my mind, I'm going to finally get it. But the thing is, how can you get something that you already have? We have these stories throughout all of the different spiritual teachings, the stories of the diamond in your pocket sitting on a chest of gold, right? This all of these ideas pointing out that the pearl of great price is not somewhere else. It is actually when we reach into our pocket, oh my God, it was always here. So the power of alignment is not in becoming. It's actually in letting go of all of the becoming and coming to remember, like tuning a radio. We're not chasing a signal. We are essentially attuning ourselves to what is the real. There's many ways of doing this. There's the Eastern path, like of the non-duality, right, of Advaita, where it's like neti neti, not this, not that. Is this thought me? No. Is this feeling? Is that what I am? No. It wasn't here before. I was here before, so I can't be that feeling. And so through this discernment, you start to come to this realization that, okay, what is the only thing that actually sticks around, right? And we start to realize it's not about doing more. It's not about pursuing. It's not about chasing. It's about remembering and then knowing who and what you are. Alignment with that authentic soul essence. Um, that's what we're seeking, right? We just want to be ourselves. We want to be as you are, right? This is Ramana Maharshi's teaching. And it's like some people say, oh, what is that? Like, be, just sit there, meditate. No, be as you are. You are bliss. You are love. You are fulfillment. You are all that is. You are the only thing that you've ever been interacting with, right? So be as you are is a call to profound fulfillment and the letting go of this dream of suffering in which we seem to always be incomplete, moving from incompletion to incompletion. But if we really come back to this analogy of witnessing and the movie, and we can see the movie is complete. It is unfolding scene by scene, but each scene is a work of art. Just because like there's a painting here, let's say of a rose that is just budding, doesn't mean it is an incomplete painting. It's complete in and of itself. It's a budding rose. It's not in full bloom, but the essence of it is complete. And how do we come to that sense of completion, that sense of fulfillment, so we can rest in peace, livingly, fully alive, resting in peace? And that is only by getting deeper and deeper in touch with who and what we already are and what we've always been. As we move beyond this, we start to see like that the timing of life. That's the other point that I mentioned at the beginning. Like, how do we overcome FOMO, right? That fear of missing out on something. Um, the idea that I should be further ahead, or I should have done something else, or I should have taken this direction, or whatever it is, this mistrust of life. Where's that coming from? It's coming from, again, this idea that I am the grand director of life, that I, this separate self, uh, this avatar, this movie character, I am the director of life. So, and there are levels to this. There is a level at which you're the director, but it's not the you who's the avatar. It's not the you who's the character that's directing life. It is your essence of who you are. You're dreaming this dream. It's completely responding to what you want it to be. The Buddhists, the Dzogchen Buddhism, which is the epi topmost quintessential truth that that Buddhism presents, it calls the mind the wish fulfilling gem. It doesn't call it samsara. It's referring to it as something that is completely giving itself to you all the time. What do you want? I'll give it to you. Anything. And then here we are, we're like, I want to strive for something that's not here. Okay, great. You got that. Have infinite opportunities at that. Here you go. And then we are upset about that. But why are we upset? We're upset because there's this disconnect between our waking state and our dream state in which we fall into identity. So when we talk about divine timing, when we talk about trusting and surrendering to life, it is the recognition that life is living me. The great, uh, the great intelligence of life is living me, right? The great spirit, that infinite oneness that is moving all of us is moving me, and that oneness is myself. But at the same time, here, as I embody, as I engage, as I identify with the character, yeah, it feels like I am, separate from that, but I can still relax. I can still relax in the knowing. I can offer my faith to it and say, hey, show me, show me. I'm here. I want to see you. I want to see your hand at work in my life. Show me that you're here with me. And this is the beautiful thing, is that if we're really going to listen, it is inevitable that we're going to see this. And one of the ways that it can do it with you is through synchronicity. You can really engage and say, hey, show me this thing, like show me synchronicity. I want to see that you're here. You hear me. You must be right here where I am. And this is, by the way, coming back to a little bit what Joel Goldsmith talks about, is that part of the hypnotism is that we ignore the omnipresence of God. So God must be right here where I am. Otherwise, God would not be infinite. So that means that the infinite intelligence of life is right here where you are. Trust that it knows you. Trust that it can understand you, which is itself, and that it's in its best interest to expand as love, which includes you. So this is the uh, core of it, is that as we begin to relate to life and allow ourselves to be lived, this is the opportunity that we have in which we can relax the striving. We can let go of our need to insist on how life should be and instead accept the grace and the gift of being lived by our greater self. Yeah. I want you to think about, those times in your life where something didn't work out. It was, you're going for it, but it didn't work out. And then when you look back, you realize, oh, wow, whew, thank God it didn't work out. It was a blessing in disguise. If it were up to us, we would take ourselves into many, many, many experiences that um, we wish we didn't, right? And we've had those experiences too. So this is that divine timing at play. This is the being lived at play where we have to trust it. It's like there's a way to come to a great receivership in every moment and realize how blessed we are. Like right now, we may say, oh, it's just a simple moment. Like, oh, okay, well, how blessed am I? Oh, I'm okay. But look, you're not getting shot at. There's no bombs going off next to you, right? Somebody you love, they're still alive today. Whew, wow. So, like, there is intrinsically in each moment so much grace, so much protection, so much safety, so much supply, so much of everything that you could ever want. We just become blind to it because we're focused in this like tunnel of like, oh, I need to get, I need to get this, I need to get a Tesla, I need to get this. What are you doing? And what you're doing is absolutely natural to somebody who was born in the matrix and conditioned by the matrix. Um, this is the very purpose of the matrix, is that it's here to extract your life force. When you're engaging in this dream, now remember again, in truth, there's only one power, one presence, one intelligence. There is no opposite to God. There is no second power. And yet, in this dream, as you engage in the dream at the terms of the dream, this dream is a dream of good and evil. This dream is the dream that, in scriptures, Adam ate the apple, fell asleep into this dream of good and evil. He ate from that fruit. And here we are. We were still dreaming that same dream. So here, it always is this yin yang play. It's gonna always look like, oh my God, the darkness, it's gonna take over. It's gonna win. It's gonna wipe us out. Oh no. Oh wow, the light is coming in. The light is gonna win. It's perpetual in this dream. Nobody's gonna win. The day will never win over night, and the night will never win over the day. It will always be this tumbling. And as soon as we can really unhook from being identified with one or the other, with this duality, whether it's good and evil, or it's left and right, or it's whatever duality, if you can step back and witness it as a play, then you behold the beauty of the sunset, the sunrise, and you're like, I love it. What beauty, what magnificence. But if you're afraid that one side will win, now you are missing every possible opportunity to experience and taste the beauty and the gift of life. And instead, you are constantly in this anxious space, chasing, hoping, protecting, defending. So, this is what we have the opportunity to do, to trade in our anxiety for trust, to trade in our sense of control for surrender and say, life, you live me now. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me for, grabbing the steering wheel all the time. Here it is again. And then you might grab it again. And they say, oh, okay, whew, sorry. I got it. Oh, and that's okay. That's it. That's okay. The moment that you remember is a sacred moment. It's a gift. And the more that you remember, the more you can relax, the more that conditioning to keep grabbing at it is going to relax. And then we find ourselves here. And from here, we start to explore something totally different. And that's that feeling of empowerment. When we finally come to this place where we say, okay, here's the most empowering part. What belongs to you will always find you because it is you. What belongs to you is all peace, all love, all joy, all fulfillment. Yeah. None of it is being withheld from you. So the full measure of what God has to offer belongs to you, already assigned to you at your creation. It's right there, right here. So God's not waiting to see if you prove yourself. Uh, who is? So when we start to say, okay, so if all that I'm really looking for is what is already within me, how does this change my approach to life? How can I engage with life differently if I start to remember this truth? And by remember this truth, I literally mean waking up in the morning and saying, okay, what is the truth? The truth is today I'm going to experience a lot of different illusions that are going to invite me to think that what I need and what I desire and what would fulfill me is outside of me. I am now remembering that none of this is true. I know that what I truly want is peace, love, joy, and all of this is in me now in full measure. Can I find it? Can I prove it? Yes, I can. Let me be still. Let me be still and know. And I don't know, like, if you have given yourself this opportunity to be still, and we'll have an opportunity if you want to take it together when we go into a little bit meditation, um, to really touch stillness, to really let it touch you, to let it permeate your body, your mind. What happens is when you are authentically there, it bubbles up. It starts to bubble up as joy. It starts to bubble up as contentment, as peace, as love. It is a complete state. It's not seeking to add to itself. In fact, here's the real important thing about this whole chasing conversation, chasing our dreams, desires. The world cannot add anything to us. Just like a movie or a game cannot add something to us. No matter what happens in the movie, no matter what happens in, let's say, a video game, nothing is added onto us. But also, nothing is taken away. If we can begin to embody this truth, live it, breathe it, remind ourselves, well, today I can't lose anything and I can't gain anything. How would I live this day? Right? What if it wasn't about loss and gain? What if it wasn't about um, a sense of becoming? What if we could just enjoy the experience of life and allow it to unfold and watch what happens? Because I'll tell you what happens is that it gives itself to you. Like it's simply that the right call comes in, the right moment comes in. Suddenly, this person that was upset with you is of a different temperament. This stuff just starts to snowball. Why? Because now you're coming from a place where instead of saying, yes, I want the dream of separation, I want to keep chasing, I want to, you just start to say, life, I know that whatever you give me is perfect because I already have everything. I'm just witnessing the unfolding of my own essence of the infinite possibilities. And here's one. Oh, cool. And I'm not trying to get something from it. Get and keep, get and keep. This is what the ego keeps on trying to do. Get and keep and hold. Yeah, well, how does that work? It works like creating anxiety, fear, depression, um, and nothing that we want is in there. So it's important to embody this space of like, I don't have to fight or I don't have to prove my worth. I only have to remember. And you don't, even that is not a necessity. You will always come to. It's okay. You may go for a deep dip into complete unconsciousness and suffering, and you'll come out. It's just that, yes, it doesn't feel good, and the memory of it doesn't feel good. But when you're redeemed, in those moments, suddenly all the past is wiped away. It's just like it. Okay, yeah. I remember like yeah, for years I was suffering, but it's nothing. That's nothing now. And I think ultimately, as we shift out of this back and forth of stepping on the matrix train, stepping back into stillness, awareness, truth, back and forth, as we start to realize that we can stay home, we can abide, and we can enjoy the play of Maya, because Maya now is no longer samsara. Maya, illusion, is only samsara when we believe it to be reality. Only then it becomes delusion and creates suffering. To witness an illusion, we love that. We call it entertainment. Oh, we watch it as movies. We look at art. We love it, and it's beautiful. But if we take it to be reality and we collapse into it, now we create a problem for ourselves. But the Course reminds us, all my problems have been solved. I only have one problem, and that problem has already been solved. And that what that is it's the invitation to remember that you're already home, that you're already safe, and that if you really pay attention to the moment, you will find that in almost every moment now, I'm not in a war zone. I'm not, getting abused by somebody. I don't know what's happening in these cases, but I do know that for most of us, at least everybody that I get to interact with, what's happening is that we're sitting here in pretty great environment, and we create so much suffering, not only for ourselves, but also for each other. We try to deal it out because hurt people, when we are hurt, we hurt people, we hurt others. So hurt people hurt people. Um, and this is part of our calling, is to bring healing to this, to bring sanity to this, to realize that I can find right here in this moment safety, ease. What do I need? I have water. Here it is. Okay. I've had food. I'm not starving. I got it. I got it. I'm literally being provided for in this moment. Will you accept it? Right? And we don't, but we have the opportunity to. And that's the invitation here. The invitation is to step into flow, step into a state where life feels lighter, where opportunities come more effortlessly, where you're at peace and you know you're exactly where you're meant to be. Always. Even in the most awkward situations, it's like, oh, right. It goes from fear to, oh, I got you. You got me here for a reason. Okay. I'm listening. I'm learning. I'm here. Show me. Right. And we begin to engage life in entirely new ways. So in a moment, we'll go into meditation, but I want to just ask you to reflect on, what's one thing that you've been chasing? Um, is it enlightenment? Is it freedom? Is it knowledge? Um, think about it and see what is the effect that you are creating in your life, because you are the cause, right? The cause is in consciousness. And if we want to put it differently, we could say, at the very least, we could say, the cause is not in the physical reality. The cause is in consciousness. The cause is God, or the cause is you, whatever level you're looking at it from. Um, so, what's one thing you've been chasing that perhaps you can let go of today? I want to I want to invite you to reflect on that and maybe share it in the comments. And I'd love to hear how you're choosing to step into alignment. So, what I'd love to do, yeah, loss of confusion. Hmm. Say a little bit more about that, Louise. Loss of confusion. Um, I see Fiona on YouTube. I had no idea you're going live, starting from the beginning. That's awesome. Um, Oh, yes. Amazing, Louise. Yeah, I don't need to chase certainty. So good. What we're looking for is like this mental certainty, right? Like, I think in the past, it's been called this like intellectual ivory tower. It's like, oh, yes, I really got this. I can really, like, I know all of it, so that's what's gonna keep me safe. Um, but yeah, it's totally unnecessary because we're already safe. And the idea of needing to control, right? So we can always kind of feel this like to keep something, right? It's that get and keep. It's like, well, I am okay now, but how can I make sure that I'm okay forever? That space is the space where you once again grab the steering wheel and you said, screw you, God, I got this. I got to figure this out. And you just go, ah, okay. What if this moment is the only moment that there is? What if it's literally just this? Because that's the only evidence that we have is just that it's just this. It's just this ongoingly. Um, and while we are here, like it's complete already as it is. There is no possibility to step into something else to control it. There's no possibility to lose something because it's just this. There's no possibility to add something because it's just this. Like, let's say if we added $10 million to you and 10 houses, well, you can't use any of that because you're here. So, us finding the here-ness and surrendering to it and allowing the bliss of life to shower us in its essence, I feel that this is the call that we are being invited to now, as we're stepping into this um, boiling pot. And I'm sure that if you look out in the world, you can see that it's boiling. There is the temperature that's being turned up, whatever polarities there are, where it used to be a little bit close to each other, now they're going like this and they're going like this. And wonderful. It's our opportunity to choose. Are we going to stay on the roller coaster and keep on being bounced around, following our character, our avatar? Or can we step back and witness the awakening of humanity? Can we step back and witness this great awakening unfolding and to celebrate it and say, how may I be of service to you? Right? Allow it to guide us. So I want to invite us here in this next little while. By the way, yeah, if any questions, if anything that you want to touch in on from what we covered, absolutely welcome that. Um, and if not, what I'd love to do next is to take us into a little meditation and really anchor in these ideas so that they're more than ideas, so that they are something that we can um, live day to day. And what I'm really inviting us into is how do we live it? Because sometimes it's confusing. It's like, well, okay, these are cool ideas. Yeah, don't chase. Yeah, but I need it. So what am I gonna? Okay, so here's what it is. It's that we're going to just drop these pebbles into the pool of the mind. We're just going to plant these seeds in the mind garden, whatever analogy you really like. But imagine this idea that you don't have to get rid of the bad, so to speak, bad habits. Instead, just start to put your attention on and plant and water this consciousness, these seeds of this new consciousness in which you see yourself moving through the day, feeling light, feeling like there's nothing for you to get and nothing for you to get away from. And yet you are just here to play this secret agent of God kind of role. Marvel at creation. When it's your time to speak, you know the lines. When it's your time to act, inspiration moves you. This is what we're going for. Nothing fancy, just total bliss as we live our life. And let's begin. Let's cultivate this. So I'm gonna just allow this to run, and Let's go into it together. So I want to invite you now to take a deep breath. As you exhale, allow your eyes to close and your shoulders to drop. Take one more deep breath, filling up your belly, chest, all the way up to your shoulders. They rise slightly. And letting it go. Allow the cascade of relaxation to pour down from the top of your head, all the way down, relaxing your face, relaxing your eyes. Allow this liquid light, this light of ease, relaxation, openness, and surrender, to pour through every cell of your body, every organ, every muscle, every system. And allow it to open. We're going to anchor ourselves in the changeless reality, beginning with stillness. Just for an instant, bring your entire body to stillness to whatever degree you can. Notice that even as the breath moves, there's something already and always still. Behind every movement is the background of stillness. Relax your body and just behold the stillness now, independent of physical reality, the stillness that is always already here. Let it caress your body. Let it envelop your body. Relax into it. As we shift our attention to behold now silence. Just for an instant, bring your mind to total silence. And notice that even if thought and sound arises again, the silence is uninterrupted. Behind every word, behind every sound, behind every thought, listen. And allow the silence now to touch your mind like a frequency that we tune into. Align and allow the frequency of silence to touch the mind. as we shift our awareness now to this space. The space that surrounds our body. The space between you and the screen. Between you and the walls of the room. And the space within you. The space within the mind. Tuning the frequency of spaciousness. And as we do, allowing the body to become spacious, the mind, give it space. By noticing that space is endless, allow yourself to stretch up and down, left and right, and in all 10,000 directions. Notice how there's no boundary. Space permeates every object. And allow this frequency of space to envelop your mind and body. And allow what seems solid and contracted to expand. We now shift our awareness, the self. The I in the midst of you. This lucid awareness, that which is aware of even the most subtle of creation. Space, stillness, silence. What is it that can behold even these? Am I aware? Allow this question to turn your inquiry, not of the mind, but of your attention inward, into the source of awareness, source of self. And as we rest here, let us surrender to the truth of our own being. Where is peace, love, and joy and fulfillment? Where is the only place I've ever experienced these? Listen not to sound, but to the truth of your natural being. And see if you notice, to whatever degree, these qualities of your natural being bubbling up into awareness. And remind yourself that when I open my eyes, the world that I behold can add nothing to me and cannot take anything away. What I am in truth contains all that I could ever desire, hope for, or need. And I open my heart and mind and invite ever greater revelation of the truth of who I am, my true self. May every experience of this day serve this one purpose, that I may know the truth that makes me free. That I may know the truth that makes me an instrument of freedom and love everywhere I am. And just take a moment to feel that. Own the truth of it. Own the possibility that this day is a turning point. It's a day like no other. Because it is a day in which you serve the truth. Serve the great awakening. Serve the expansion of peace, love, and joy as it wants to come through you. So just take a few deep breaths. Allow this intention to be planted in your mind and in your heart, in your very own presence. And as you're ready, you may gently begin to release the inward focus. And as the time is right for you, you may open your eyes. Beautiful. Well, I want to thank you for joining me here on this journey, the journey beyond the matrix, the journey of questioning our conditioning and embracing and inviting the truth to be our guide, to be the reason that we awaken in the morning, to be the context of our day, to be the essence of all of our relationships. So that's all I wanted to share with you today. I hope this was of service, and I would very much love to continue our conversation. Now we are almost in holiday time. So most likely I'll see you again in the new year for another round of A Course in Miracles as well. Thank you so much, Louise. Thank you for all the daily ACIM meditations. Deeply appreciate that. Thank you. Go out there, love fearlessly, embrace each moment as the only moment that there is, and allow inspiration and the truth that is knocking at the door of your heart and in your consciousness to lead you in the words that you say, in the actions that you choose, in your decisions. Wish you a very, very happy holiday time. Enjoy it. Stay warm. Keep smiling. And take great care. Bye-bye for now.